Hey. Oh.
I was into it too.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Saturday Sit Down. Thank you so much for joining us. I think we have a good show lined up. I'm so excited about all the things that we're getting ready to talk about. But first of all, as always, how you doing, Heifer? Hey, Lovey. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello, Miss Bull.
All right. All
Soon
right.
to be Willis.
Yes. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I like that.
How are
But
you?
I'm all right. I'm yet holding on. I'm a little salty because you got your whole thing together and I'm still limping with mine. But that's all right. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna clap for your arrival. Clap for your arrival. I'm gonna zoom out, let the folks see you. Okay, check her out. Check her out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're gonna educate us on this setup?
Yeah, so this is my microphone. I love my microphone because it's gold. I hadn't seen that before, but I love it. But the only thing is that you can hear my every pop. My P's, my, my,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
for educational purposes, we're going to, I wanted to show you what it looks like naked. And we're going to put this is called a windscreen to protect all of that because this sounds much better and much more professional.
You have to put that little last part on there.
Hey,
So
Dee! Hey,
I was
Courtney!
about to say, let's say hello to the room. Hello, room. All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I'm so
Hold
excited
on.
about it. What happened?
How's the wedding plans going?
They are still going. I went and looked at a venue today that I thought was going to be the one, but they had no elevator, and the room was upstairs. And so while it's you, because I had to check this out for you, because I was like, do you have an elevator? Girl, tell me why. They had a food elevator. Like, how it's like a little crate, okay? And on the outside of the building that they would use to lift up food and supplies. And they said it was going to put you on it. And I said, in our dress? Oh, no, ma'am, no, sir. We're not about to do that. Oh, I'll just carry her. Oh, we're not about to do that either. So, yes, the search continues. The search continues.
Okay. All right.
Right. It was interesting. It was almost perfect. It was connected to a hotel. So it would have been basically all in one. We would have been able to have the ceremony and the reception there. The guests would have been able to stay there. We would have been able to stay there. It was
Where was this?
Wendy Hill.
You know, especially in my line of work, I'm finding that different parts of the metropolis is very old and dated in some aspects. And Cobb County tends to be one of them.
Well,
which makes
melanated.
absolutely no sense at all because it's just like not only just for me, but you may have your elders coming. Yeah. So what about those people? Just no consideration at all.
Right. And that was my thing, you know what I mean? Because, my parents are, let's say, mom's like 66, 67, and then Miss is over 70. And it's the same way for V's. Are you hearing something? Some wind? I hear that sound again.
No.
Wait a minute. It's on your end.
Oh no.
Okay. Is there something you can adjust? So I'm just going to talk for a second. All right. So I'm going to mute it and let you work on some things real quick. But, yeah, so my parents are 66 and over 70. My stepdad's over 70. And it's the same thing for V. So, you're looking at all of the guests that would be around the age having to climb the stairs. It wasn't going to work like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little disappointed.
So are you still hearing the wind?
Okay. Not so much right this moment. So we'll just carry on.
Our lead guest, are they hearing feedback?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, don't say that.
But it's not feedback at all. It's not like that, like the microphone sound. It
Hmm.
sounds like either a microwave just came on, or a vacuum cleaner, or yeah. But I don't hear it right now, so we just carry on.
But you can still hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound fine. You sound fine. So you just have to talk a lot. No, I'm just kidding. Not a problem for you.
Whatever. Anyway, go ahead. Finish.
Okay. Yeah, but that's the thing about the venue. So the search continues. Um what else? So as far as political news, I don't have a whole lot, which is one of the great things about having real leadership. Like, stuff just goes on and you can go on with your life. Like, we could talk about other things. We don't have to spend a whole half hour talking about politics. Like, ooh, normalcy.
Right. But other than running me my money.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is still walking through the process. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the good thing
Mm-hmm.
is they did put income limit income limit back to 75,000. So
Well, shit, I still don't make it.
uh, you what you mean you don't make it? You're not
No,
gonna
I mean, I'm saying I fall way below that.
oh, okay, well,
Run me my money.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Prayers and thoughts for Texas. Like, that is horrible. Have you seen pictures of the ice inside people's
Mm-hmm.
houses, at
Uh-huh.
homes and apartments and things like that? Pipes bursting, people freezing to death. You have children dying in igloos. Like, they tried to create an igloo, it caved in, and then Ted Cruz flying to Mexico, like, and then getting shamed back home. Like, bruh, just give up.
Yeah, and the mayor of Colorado, Texas. I want to say. Did you hear
Mhm.
about him?
Mm-mm. Is that the one that said sink or swim?
Yeah, you
Oh,
yeah.
only the strong survive.
Right, 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 right. Like they didn't put themselves in this position, sir. This is an act of God. Quit playing.
And not only that, man, I really love your microphone. I must not. I had to put my hate aside to acknowledge that. So now I don't even want to talk no more. Just take the show away. I'm gonna mute myself. But no, with the people of
Oh my gosh.
Texas, so part of the reason why it happened that way is because they opted not to go with the federal layout, or be connected to the federal support system or whatever. I guess to put more money in individuals' pockets. So they took themselves off the grid. They had their own power grid. So it's just an unfortunate situation, and thank God we have a president, okay, who is
Yeah,
sending.
can you imagine if he were still in office?
Girl, y'all should have cleaned the pipes. What he say? Sweep the sweep the floors in the forests for the fire. So, what would he have said about this in Texas? And they're trying to use one of his things. Oh, the excuse me, the windmills, the wind turbines
Mm-hmm.
that they opted not to winterize. So that's why they're not working. And okay, I love America sometimes because we are super petty. Because Alaska came out like they showed pictures of their turbines working in the snow. Oh,
Yeah, it's just like how we were. Georgia was, well, Atlanta.
right.
How we were when we had the Snowmageddon, where
Yeah.
the city was completely thrown off guard because, I can't recall. Well, I won't say I can't recall, but, in my years of being here, I haven't never seen snow of that magnitude. Um, but we all knew it was coming.
And I mean, so because you haven't been here in 1992, that was the biggest blizzard that I knew of. And I mean, it was a significant amount of snow, I mean, but it didn't shut us down. I mean, it shut us down, but we weren't stranded on school buses. Okay.
Mhm.
We were just prepared for it. Now, I don't, I was young. I was like in middle school or something when that happened. And I just remember playing in the snow for a few days.
Right.
But, and then I don't remember if it happened during the week or if it happened on the weekend. So that could be a difference. But I mean, we've gotten snow before, but that's Atlanta. Okay. So let's get back to Texas. Like,
Yeah, they but because I had asked my mother-in-law, who's been there almost 30 something years,
hmm
have you ever seen snow of this magnitude? She was like, I've never seen this before. So I know for a fact that they were completely thrown off guard, like what the hell? But it's also their own fault for not taking the necessary precautions just in case, especially with the climate that we've had worldwide
right.
as of
Climate
lately.
change is
Nothing is the
real.
same, right?
Climate change is real. At one point this week, there were only three states what they call it, the contiguous United States that did not have snow: Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. That's it. So we can't argue about climate change anymore. We can't say that climate change is coming. Climate change is upon us now,
Mm,
and it is definitely time to do something about that.
yeah, I feel bad for those because my sister was without power. Maybe what I think she said 84 hours.
Whoa, how she count the hours though? But
Uh,
okay,
this just like people who have kids. How is your son? He 1,326 months old.
okay.
But but yeah, they were without power, and then at one point they were, of course, without water. So they had to rely on their grill to cook their food.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, right when the power came back on, but right before that, they were going to go over to her dad's apartment. But it's like six of them.
Oh.
hmm
Ooh.
So it would have been a lot. But I was like, I need you to get out the house, ma'am.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're issuing a boil water advisory for that part of Texas who doesn't have any water in places, doesn't have any electricity to boil the water. Like, mm, okay, so mm, it's just ooh, that's just a horrible situation, and I don't know how they're gonna get through that, but we're gonna pray for them.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oh, and one more thing about the Texas situation. So how they gonna blame it on the Green New Deal, which hasn't even gone into law? It's not even on the books. They're blaming it on AOC and the Green New Deal. Like, y'all can't come no better than this. Like, okay, all right. Um,
I agree with you, Jermaine. Grilled food is good,
yeah.
especially when it's a grilled pork chop.
Oh,
Ooh,
you lost me at pork.
I will sell my wheelchair for a grilled pork chop.
Girl, give me some grilled salmon, some grilled
I mean,
steak.
that's good. No, no, that's steak. But I got you. I feel you. It's just the grilled taste, but it's kind of tough when that's the only means that you have to rely on to cook like a full meal
Right. Not only
for
cook a full
six
meal,
people.
boil your water.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's your water for your bath and everything else.
Uh-huh. I'm hungry too.
Oh Lord, imagine that.
You hear it again?
hmm But what? Don't bang on your desk, girl. That thing is sensitive, honey. Oh look, Courtney talking about she hungry now.
I know I'm hungry too.
All right.
Need a pork chop.
Nah, I need a lamb chop. Ooh. Anywho, what else? I think that's pretty much all as far as politics. Also, so this week Rush Limbaugh passed, and that's all I have to say about that.
Next.
Okay, and tomorrow is the anniversary of the assassination of Malcolm X. I know normally keep the black fact to the end, but I just saw this right before I got on here that tomorrow's the anniversary of his assassination, and there was an NYPD cop who made a deathbed confession, or I don't know if you want to call it confession, but disclosure about the interference of the NYPD and the FBI in the civil rights movement, as well as possibly being affiliated or associated with the assassination of Malcolm
They
X.
kill me when they do that on their deathbed. Punk. Use a mark.
Right.
Mm, whatever.
Hmm.
Carry on.
Okay. So I guess shifting over to, because I got a couple of things I want to talk about, but I guess this is kind of entertainment related. But do you have any entertainment news first?
No, because unfortunately I've been off the grid for a little while this week. I haven't really caught up on too much other than Prince Harry and Meghan are expected baby number 2.
Right. And congratulations to them. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they might as well make babies because they ain't doing nothing else now, are they? Since they stepped away from their royal duties and stuff. I mean, I'm just saying.
They have production companies. They're making films. They're philanthropists, so they're active.
Oh, I wasn't worried about them being broke.
No, but as far as
But-
busy work, that's
okay,
what they do. Mm-hmm.
okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So this is okay. So let's just get into it. Michael B. Jordan rented out an aquarium. I want to say in Tennessee, but I'm not sure. But I just know he rented out an aquarium for Lori Harvey for Valentine's Day because she wanted to see the turtles. Really romantic. Cool. What's his name? Lil Boosie. Well, now he just goes by Boosie, which is good because you didn't grow up. Thank you. But
And he as old as us.
yes, Boosie, made a post calling him a simp and just pretty much dragging Michael B. Jordan for being with Lori Harvey. Not even for what he did, renting out the aquarium and whatever, but because she has been with
Everybody
yeah.
in the
But
entertainment industry.
but I don't I got mixed emotions about that. Um it's his choice. Why you worried about it? Uh you know, you mad cuz you didn't get a turn or whatever. I don't know.
Not you didn't get a turn.
And then first of all, sir, let's talk about Boosie real quick, okay? Let's remember that Boosie is the same person that paid prostitutes to perform oral sex on his son, and I want to say his nephew, but definitely his
His
prepubescent
seed.
son
Mm-hmm.
to ensure that he would not be gay. But now
If
he's a relationship guru.
if anything, that would have told him whether or not he wanted it from a man or a woman.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
uh,
Just
okay,
saying. But yeah, I mean, we know Boosie. Boosie is Boosie.
yeah.
Okay, so no, when I say Boosie is Boosie, Boosie in the Bay Area terms, that means you're lame.
Oh,
We say Boosie. Like, well, you hella Boosie.
I ain't know.
You
That's
know, my
interesting.
my Bay Area vernacular has not been tapped into for a minute, unless I'm speaking to someone else from the Bay Area. But I speak to you sometime, and I be like, "Ooh, they hella moted,"
Hmm.
and you get it because sometimes you just want to say it without the the
Explanation.
definition. Yes,
Yeah.
but yes, Boosie is Boosie. I've always put him in that category.
And so I wanted to talk about Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, which they're in a committed relationship. Apparently, they love each other. It wasn't just a,
Love.
first date. Well, celebrity love, whatever. Um, but does it matter? Like, why does body count matter for a woman, but it doesn't matter for a man? And how's this gonna work? Because you want the woman to maintain her virginity and be pious until marriage, but you want the man to sow his wild oats. Who he sleeping with?
I agree that it is in fact a double standard when it comes to it's always a double standard when it comes to men versus women's actions. Period.
Exactly.
Across the board.
Hmm.
I think they're part of the reason why people are so judgy when it comes to Lori is because she literally goes from one dude to the other. Like there's no break. So she was with Future, and then they broke up on Tuesday. But then by Thursday, she then got with Justin Combs, and then she broke it off with Justin on Sunday. Sunday night, I'm with your daddy. So it's just like, well, yeah, because she was messing with Diddy too.
Oh, oh, wow. Hey, content.
Yeah, so I think that's part of the reason why everybody is so hard on her because it's like there's no break.
But I'm not gonna say that that's healthy. That's clearly not.
For
But
anybody.
but it's not abnormal either. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, you just know about it because she dates celebrities and she is a celebrity. You know what I mean?
But is she? She's not really a celebrity. She don't do nothing. She got that, and that's not even her maiden. Her maiden name. Well, she was adopted. She's only got this. She's got this notoriety on the sole back of her stepfather is.
Okay. But I don't know. I just feel like let people live their life. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
hoes will be hoes. So
It's Christmas time. Okay, all
I
right.
mean, I'm saying if you want to be a hoe, be good at it.
Mm, she is grown, but she has been busy. See, that's very polite. Thank you, content. Teach her. School her.
So
Okay.
in Bay Area, it's how use a hoe, and hoes gonna be hoes.
All right. So she's for the streets. Okay. Um, but does that make Michael B. Jordan be a simp?
I mean, I kind of got mixed emotions on the whole situation because it's just like, of all people. I mean, she got a good one.
Clearly.
She got a good one because he everything that he's showing her that we've seen, I would expect that from him, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he felt like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I could be the one to change all of this.
Oh, he gonna turn a hoe into a housewife.
Yeah,
Okay, well, at some point, all wild horses have to be broken.
exactly.
So, okay, well, good luck to them. Now, you got Russell Wilson and Sierra.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Uh
So to pivot a little bit, because I've seen this twice in the chat, Kim K and Kanye are officially getting divorced.
oh, okay. Put that
Oh,
with the Russell Limbaugh passing.
oh okay.
I mean,
Go
you know.
ahead and go to the Wilsons. I tried, Courtney.
Yes, I was gonna mention it. I'm glad you brought it up though. But yeah, that was a long time coming.
Yeah.
That was a long time coming.
Well,
I mean,
again, maybe she thought that she could be the one to change him.
okay. And actually, I'm gonna come back to that because that goes into recognizing when you have outgrown someone,
Oh, yep.
and that's on our to talk about list. So, but let me run through this frivolous stuff first. Well, it's not really that frivolous, but
Frivolous.
what else? The frou before we get into the meat. Okay, we at the appetizers right now.
My asparagus. Okay.
Yeah, I like asparagus. But anyways, so Russell and Sierra did one of those GQ couples quiz things, like with Lauren London and Nipsey Hussle. That was one of the ones
Yep.
I was gonna do. But the question was asked to Russ, what is his biggest fear? And he said losing his wife. And he got drugged for it.
Why?
Now he's a simp, which he was claimed. I mean, he was proclaiming
Yeah,
to be a simp before,
yeah.
but that just put him back on the simp line because of that statement, and I can't understand why. You know what I mean? And I think that is a humble response because, yeah, from the outside looking in, you could say, oh, anybody would be willing to be with, Russell Wilson. He's, fairly handsome. He ain't fine or nothing, but he's handsome. He make a lot of money. He obviously seems to be a good guy. He's a God fearing man. Kind of checks all the boxes that are on a lot of our list. However, he recognizes that he's not above anything. And to say that his biggest fear is losing his wife, I think that's respectable. And that's the way you should feel about your partner, especially your husband or your wife.
Not
You know
your
what I mean?
girlfriend, not your boo, not wifey, wife.
Yes, because
Mm,
you made that commitment. And so making that commitment means that's an ongoing thing. You don't just make the commitment on your wedding day. That's a daily commitment to continue to keep that relationship going and growing.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's him recognizing that he cannot take it for granted just because, they are who they are. They seem to have a stable relationship, but you have to continue to pour into that. And for him to say losing his wife, it doesn't even mean that there are any problems that she could leave him, or that it's anything like that, but she could also pass away.
Yep.
That when you're marrying the right person and for the right reason, that should be a fear, not a fear of yours, but not necessarily a restricting fear, like, oh, I can't do this because I'm afraid, not that fear that just binds you and prevents you from moving, but
Mm-hmm.
it motivates you. You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes you do the right things, do better, and continue to stay focused on your relationship, which is what you should do to maintain a lifetime partnership. That's what you signed up for. You can't just make a day one, like, okay, this is our wedding day. I'm committed to you. I'm making these vows and done. Like, no, you have to continue to pour into it. But when I tell you that Russell Wilson got drugged for that,
But who?
just black Twitter for one.
Them probably didn't say them probably single people. And they
Right.
know nothing about what it takes to make a relationship work or last.
Exactly. And I think that's just a materialistic view that the world has, because people were expecting him to say, losing his money, this, that, but this is the thing that people have to realize about love versus any materialistic things. Anything material you can get again.
Mm-hmm.
You can get better. You can just buy it better. But finding that one, that your soulmate, that one that completes your puzzle, that's something you can't ever replace. Now, you can get into another relationship, you can find you another man or another woman, but to find that one, that reflection of you, that's priceless. That's
Mm-hmm.
irreplaceable when
Mm-hmm.
you choose the right one. But that's my
Mm-hmm.
that thing went all over me. Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, that's terrible. But people gonna hate. People gonna bitch and moan about any and everything. So whatever. Let them do that. They've been doing great thus far. They
Right.
ain't stunting us.
Let me go ahead and drop
Period.
this link. Oh, and I forgot to run my banner. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Since we all professional with the microphone and everything else, what I'm saying? We had the professional banner. Yes. Let me pause and
Yes.
acknowledge that I have redropped the link. It's posted at the very top of the chat, and I also just dropped it there. So if you want to participate in this conversation, just click the link and boop, come on in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But yeah, that really bothered me. Just for it to be back to back, same weekend pretty much, or same amount of time. We were talking about two different relationships, and everybody has these ideas of what a relationship is supposed to be, but nobody wants to be in one. We are in a generation or a society where love is not valued anymore. It's not respected. You don't get any, and it's almost like nobody believes that love is real anymore.
Yeah, I watch it every week, every Wednesday.
On what?
Married at First Sight.
Mm,
They like the appeal of it. Oh, my husband, my wife, they like the sound of it, but they don't want to do the work
oh yeah.
at all. Every week, every single week, something appears.
And I think that people do get it distorted about what it means to make the transition from just a relationship to a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And there should be a change. You know what I mean? Now it should be a minimal change if you have, done gone through or done the work within a relationship, and you're marrying for the right reasons. But once you get to the point where it's a drastic turnaround, you haven't taken the time to get to know your mate.
Right.
But there are certain things that, like, because once you enter into a marriage, especially when you are spiritual, now that is a bond between you, your spouse, and God. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So to disrespect your spouse is to disrespect God. You know what I'm saying? Your To disrespect your husband or your wife is a spiritual violation.
Right.
So there should be that change where you have to take it more seriously. You know what I mean? Because it's not just it's a three-way bond. You know what I mean? And you have to just be committed to that. And you have to have that third eye open to see things coming that are going to challenge that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be some rainy days, for better or for worse. Means just that. It's more than just bad days or broke days. You know what I mean? Just, oh, I had a bad day at work. Can we get through this? You know what I'm saying? You never know what life holds. And ideally, you want to grow old with your spouse. So that's going to bring on a different set of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm right. I ain't going to preach on that.
No, I mean that's real. I mean, and one thing that kind of crossed my mind this past week was that the way people are dropping like flies,
Mm-hmm.
you have to take each day as a gift. And
Right.
especially when you're in a relationship or you're married, since we're on the theme of marriage, when you're in a marriage, it makes so much sense when you hear people say, and you have older people say, don't go to bed mad.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Don't go to bed mad.
Right.
Hey, you know what? What you did kind of piss me off. But you know what? It's not worth us going to bed mad because if something were to happen tomorrow, me or you, we would have to reconcile with that, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to do well.
Right.
So just do right by people, please. Just
Right.
you know, that's just my thing. Courtney, you watch Love and Married at First Sight? Cause it's a mess, honey. We need you on the podcast one day. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Right. And Content wants to know, what kind of mic do you have?
I
She
was
don't know.
I was looking at the box. It's across from me. I don't have the bot. I mean, I don't have the model, but I can definitely get that for you. Mhm.
All
You,
right.
you salty still?
Um. Nevertheless,
We gonna get you mic'd up. We
yeah.
are. Mhm.
But when we finish the show, go back and watch it so you can hear the
I
sound.
am.
Okay, so you can figure out what it is, because I can't describe it to you, other than it sounds like paper rubbing across the microphone or like wind. You know how you ever been on the phone with somebody? Oh, matter of fact, it sounds like this.
No.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Get out. Okay.
It just comes and goes. It's not a constant thing, and it lasts for about 10 seconds or something like that. Just so you know.
Okay.
So don't
All
don't
right.
don't be paranoid about it.
Okay.
All right. And okay, so I want to talk about outgrowing people. And I think
Mhm.
we kind of visited this conversation before, but I want to revisit it and just get into it a little bit. Um, I think that, we all recognize that we outgrow people, but we never really know when or how to let people go. She's about, it might be a spirit, but how to let people go. And sometimes we let our loyalty override their disloyalty. And because we would never do people the way that they are doing us or have done us, so we try and just hold on to that for whatever reason. It doesn't make any sense, but that's definitely one of the things that I have learned during this pandemic and this time of isolation or selected connections that we have, the ones that matter and the ones that don't. So this topic is coming from a situation that V had. He made a post on Facebook about vaccines and just his thought on it. That's it, just vaccines. This person jumped on the post talking about, it was a female, talking about the past, and almost as if he wasn't who he said he was because of who he used to be or things that he used to do.
On a post about vaccines?
Yes.
All right. Inappropriate much? Okay.
Right. And so I saw the whole, it got up to be about 39, 40 comments. I just sat back and watched it. Bloop, 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 bloop. I'm like, okay, all right. But so she was ended up saying, that she got screenshots from 2014 that could change some things.
For who?
Right. Because I'm like, first of all, our relationship started in 2017. We're now on the road to marriage. So if you think that you're going to pop up now and throw some salt in this or whatever, there was a foundation built. So, I'm not asleep on anything that happened before 2017 at all. At best, you can bring up a specific scenario, but generalizations generally, as far as activities, situations, things like that, I already know. Okay, I already know. But I say all that because it got under his skin because he he didn't expect it. It was out of left field, didn't know where the energy was coming from, hadn't dealt with the person since high school. But she talking about, I know you in real life. Okay. All right. This person you've outgrown. Okay. And this is not the first time that this person popped up saying some questionable things. But it would usually just be a comment. It would get shut down and then bloom, time would pass or whatever. It should have been cut off a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he just couldn't accept that, this person was messy. This person was petty. This person continued and it would be on a post where he was celebrating his progress. He's overcome some things over these past few years that he has every right to be proud about. So he shares his testimony, and rather than celebrate that moment, you want to bring up, oh, I remember when you used to.
Mm-hmm. There's always one of those.
Right. That's
Mm-hmm.
the person that you've outgrown. And it doesn't have to be a confrontation. You don't have to address the 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 gap between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Just accept that they can't see you for who you are and that they're not headed in the direction you are.
Right.
Clearly, if they're still bringing up 2014, 2009, 1999, whatever, that's where they are. Leave them there. It's that simple. It is that plain and simple. And I know once you start talking about history, oh, I've known this person for years. We did this, we did that together. Like for me, I recently cut. Well, I won't even say recently. What, probably like October, cut off a friend of mine that we had been friends since 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to a point where I was pouring more into the friendship than she was. It was always, oh, I'm sorry, I'll do better. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll do better. And she was definitely one of those still people, still struggling, still stuck, still in the same position that you were pretty much since you became an adult. Still making up excuses, still not getting it together, and not even really wanting to do better, having opportunities and blowing them over and over and over again. And I'm just not a person that can sit back and watch you spiral out of control. And I'm trying to help you. I can't help you. You're rejecting my help. You good where you at, baby. just stay right there. Be blessed. Good luck to you. It's not.
It gets to a point where, that old saying goes, people are here for a reason and a season.
Mhm.
And you're right. Sometimes we do fall under the realm of, well, I've been knowing this person for X amount of years, and well, I don't want to cut them off, or maybe I'll just fall back a little bit. And when at the end of the day, you need to let them go. You need to sever the ties because they're not evolving.
Right. Right.
And it hurts because, again, you have invested in one another for some time, but some people are just not meant to be there for the long haul.
Right. And when you reflect on that relationship, that friendship, that connection, once the memories stop at a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much where you need to leave them.
Right.
You know, and invest your time and energy in people that are willing to do the same with you.
Mm-hmm.
Spend your time and energy with people that are willing to acknowledge your growth, see your growth, help you to grow, and be okay if y'all end up in different spaces without hating.
Yeah.
you know and sometimes your closest friends or your longest relationships end up being your biggest haters, because they can't figure out how you managed to get through situations that should have taken you out, but you bounce back. And it's really not your fault or anything that you should apologize for. Uh-oh, we got Coco Bean on here. Come on. Taking you out, but you bounce back. Mute
Uh
the TV. Like like when you call into the radio and you got the radio playing. Um, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to mute your TV in the background. TV. Okay,
Hold
Coco.
on, y'all coming.
Oh, okay, because you about to be muted.
No, no, I'm trying. Y'all know I have to keep y'all on both because I be looking and I have to respond. Hey, good people. Y'all know I
All
had to
right.
come in. But I was just actually trying to it actually did kind of what y'all talking about does kind of hit home about growth with people. Even as friends, especially with what Lovey was saying, it does make a lot of sense because I know when you're younger, you might have like a group of friends, like a whole. You might be known by a lot of people. And that's one
huh.
thing I could say. Like when I used to go out, I couldn't even step out my house without me running into somebody I know. And it was just like, oh yeah, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. And then once I started to kind of evolve myself, it's like my circle got smaller and smaller and smaller. I think, when you're younger, you just try to be friends with just to have that popularity. To say you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I hear it. I hear the spirit. I hear that spirit. Yep. There it is. But then when when you start to kind of find yourself and kind of get a place of where you want to be at in life, you start to surround yourself with people that's doing those same things. I remember when Uncle Kurt used to tell me that. That's one thing that has kind of like really dwindled out my circle, was because when I was in college, I remember when I was getting ready to graduate, Uncle Kurt said, "What is it that you want to do?" And I told him, he said, "Well, you need to start hanging around people that's doing that, because these people got the blueprint of what you're trying to do." And so if you're hanging around people that don't have that blueprint, then that means you're gonna start wasting your time entertaining and keeping up with people. Because sooner or later, the people that you entertaining that's not on that level is gonna try to get to the level you at. But you're getting stagnant at where you're at, and so you're not seeing growth.
You just said a whole sermon.
My daddy was so smart.
Yeah, Uncle Kurt told me, man. My parents told me the same thing. Like when you start hanging around people that ain't trying to be about nothing, ain't trying to go nowhere, they're not gonna motivate you to do that.
Right. And you have to remember what was the initial bond, what brought you together. Did you create a friendship because you were in class together? Did you create a friendship because y'all skipped class together? You know what I mean? Did you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to think about what is that, what are the ties that bind.
Right.
Girl, you might be seeing something that because I'm reflecting on my situation.
And you always want to have somebody in your corner that's going to push you to be a better you. That's one thing where I'm at now. either you there to help me or you there to hurt me at this point in my life. Because like y'all turn around when we look, next thing you know, you turn around, you're gonna be in your 40s. Next thing you turn around, you're gonna be in your 50s. Next thing you turn around, you're gonna be in 60s. And the thing I don't like to do is get stagnant on stuff. Like me and my friends, everybody I'm really close to, we all push each other. Like one, and it seems like it goes in a circle. Like it's a group of us. It's like when one of us get a car, right behind it. It was like call it blessings. When one of us get blessed with a car, we know that somebody else is getting blessed with something else. We know that somebody's getting blessed with another car. We know, so like I close on my house. I think what 2-3 weeks later, my homegirl closed on hers. 1 week later, my homegirl closed on hers. It's just like we trying to grow. Everybody has their different paths and where they want to be at in life. Like when you're trying to, be in a committed relationship or be in something solid, if you're hanging around with people the only thing they want to do is drink, party, and smoke all the time, that's gonna eliminate you from trying to find the right person that wants to be in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start hanging around with people that actually trying to find somebody, solid to settle down with, or you trying to see, okay, well, dang, like I met my boyfriend through my cousin now. My cousin and her boyfriend, but they have a solid relationship. Not trying to say that I'm picking back off of them, but I know they ain't gonna just let anybody just come in my presence. That's just gonna be about nothing.
Right.
For sure.
Oh, trust me, that
Good.
was that was scary that day. Whew,
Oh,
Lord, just
I
thought we gonna
forgot.
tear that man house up. But Lord, we made it through. But it's just I think when the older you get, the more you realize what you really want to be in life.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that people are gonna be there to either help push you to be there, or they just gonna try to bring you down.
I agree.
Facts. That is so true. Girl, you didn't say the whole word. Girl, you didn't got me wanting to shout.
Yeah, because you gotta
Okay.
start evaluating that stuff. You gotta start evaluating like when somebody really needs you. Like, and that's one thing I take into consideration. It's like when I'm going through the toughest time in my life, who can I really depend on to be there for me? If I
Right.
need a dollar, if I need somebody to give me a ride, if I need somebody to give me some advice, hey man, look, I'm trying to get a house. What steps did you take? I see you got yours. What steps did you take? But if you ain't got none of your friends that's doing that, all of y'all just kind of stagnant and looking around, got each other hands in your pockets. Who's gonna make the first move?
Right. And you have to surround yourself with people that you, you can pour into, but they can also pour into you.
That's
You know what
true.
I mean? And we have to stop feeling bad for people who can't contribute to our life and just respect they can't and leave them there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They might be good people. They might have their, good hearts and things like that or whatever. But clearly, we're on different pages right now, sweetheart.
Yep.
If it's meant for us to have this connection, whether it's a romantic, a friendship, a relationship, or even family ties. I mean,
Yeah.
you just have to acknowledge people where they are and just compare it to where you are, where you want to go. You know what I mean? Period. And not feel bad about it. And I think that's the biggest thing that keeps us tied to people that we don't need to be tied to. And what happens when we tie ourselves to people who are going nowhere, they now become an anchor. So it's only so far a boat can float
Mm-hmm.
before it gets stuck because that anchor
Mm-hmm.
is holding it within a certain radius. It's only so far you're going to go. You know
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But when you're really ready to get out there and sail to the middle of the ocean, you got to pull that anchor up or cut the rope,
Mm-hmm.
one or the other.
Yep. That's true. And I think that's a big thing with just us as a community. Is a lot of times we'll hold that loyalty to somebody that's from back in middle school, elementary school. Oh, they was here for this and the third. But what happened to X, Y, and Z now?
Right.
Right.
Like I already paid my debt to you from what we did back then. Like, does that mean I have to have a lifelong debt to this? Like, no.
Yeah.
Like everybody's there, everybody has a season in your chapter, and I think the more and more you continue to grow as a person, the more and more you're gonna see your circle get smaller, and that's fine. The
And
thing
that's perfectly fine.
Mhm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
cool with me because I used to really have like a big group of friends, and a lot of people I was oh they cool, they cool, they cool, but then when it was time to make moves and it's time to growth, it's like everybody's not gonna be there to be there with you when you grow. Not trying to say you just gotta leave everybody high and dry, but you gotta let people know, hey, look, this is where I'm trying to be at right now. This is what I got going on. Hey, look, I can't go out to eat with you because I'm trying to save money to get my car. I'm trying to save money to get in my house. I'm trying to save money for my wedding. I'm trying to save money because I'm trying to do this and that. But then if you have somebody that's really in your corner, they're gonna be like, all right, cool, I understand that, I respect it. Let's go. All right, go ahead and do it. They're gonna be right
Right.
behind you. But if you got somebody that's back there like, oh, you ain't trying to do that. Oh, I see you trying to change up on me. Then you automatically know what they're saying. Okay, well, good. I'm about to change up, and you about to sit right here and watch me change up then.
Yep.
Right. And that's another thing, Courtney. When people say, "Oh, you changing on me, you changing on me," anybody now, you have to do self evaluation and realize, am I changing on this person or not? Because some people do flip flop. But if you know that that change is positive, and that change that they're sensing is because you're growing, because you're moving up, you're moving forward, you're making progress, and they're salty about it, that's a tie you need to sever.
Exactly.
Period. Now sometimes there is a misunderstanding, and you should be open enough, what I'm saying, like, and love you, we do this sometimes, like, girl, you don't fool with me no more. What you mean? I ain't heard from you in a month of Sundays. Oh, well, it was just because I've been working and okay, cool. You have an understanding. You know what I mean? But if it is, if I haven't done anything different, and she's asking me, did I change? Oh, since you started planning your wedding, you ain't got no time for me, or then that's something different. Which Lovey hasn't done that. You know what I mean? But that's just an example. And that's another thing that ties us to people when they challenge us, when they say, "Oh, you changing, you not the person that you used to be," or I don't know you no more. Now we feel like, "Oh, I gotta prove that I'm still me." No, you don't. No,
Right.
you don't. You made changes for a reason. If you know that what you're doing is bettering your life and bettering the life of those, that you are tied to, then you're doing the right things, and you don't owe it to that person from the past to prove that you're still you. You know what I mean? That person should be able to recognize that growth. And especially if you have made some poor decisions or bad choices or gotten into some trouble, and you no longer do those things, and they're still encouraging you to do those things, or thinking that you're not you. You ain't real no more. You ain't down no more because you don't get in trouble anymore, because you have things to lose. You see value in life, and they want to bring you back to that. Leave them folks right there.
Exactly.
And especially at this age. Because
Right.
if
Right.
you coming at me, I could understand if you came at me like in our 20s or something. But if you coming at me like that in our 40s, oh no, boo, it's time for you to go. Because
Mm-hmm.
clearly you still stuck back in your 20s. Now go ahead and stay back. Stay
Mm-hmm.
back there. Stay there.
Right. Right.
Mm-mm.
And in this day and age, especially for us as black people, we should not be encouraging anybody to do anything that could have us dealing with the police.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Oh, that's the spirit. The spirit got something to say. Hold on. All right.
I just muted it. Let me see if it's good. Okay, we're good.
I
But I think
can't.
that's the biggest thing is that with me personally, even as an adult, I like to see my people boast. Like I like to see my friends who've been through, hell and high waters or been through a tough time, and I turn around and they really doing something for themselves. They really changed their life around. Even with me, I'm sure a lot of my friends see me, doing things that I'm sure they could possibly. Well, damn, Court did X, Y, and Z. Now she's doing so and so. I like that. I love like I never look down. I think that's the biggest thing with just our community, even as black folks. Like we always trying to keep somebody around, somebody around, somebody around. But then when it comes down to like when is that person gonna be in our corner cheering us on to go do it? Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead. It's just like you want your people to get ahead, and that's one thing about friends or people you trying to keep around you. They want to see you succeed, but they don't want to see you succeed more than them. So that's
Right.
what they're gonna be like. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a little bit of rope, but I ain't gonna let you go but so far because I already know that. Hey, look, you're gonna be loyal to what I got going on back here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Facts.
They try
Dang.
and shame you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just as an example, like, okay, I smoke cigarettes. I don't support it for anybody else. And if I have anybody that is trying to quit smoking, I don't give them, when you're trying to quit smoking, you generally don't buy cigarettes. They be like, "Oh, can I get a cigarette?" If I know they're trying to quit, I'm not gonna give them one. I don't care if I got a spare or whatever, but it's my choice. I don't want to get into it. Fix your face. I know I need to quit, but however, as a person who cares about the people in my life, if somebody is trying to make that step, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, why you quitting? You've been smoking for 20 years." You know what I'm saying? I remember when we bought our first pack together. Like, no, if you trying to do better and better than me, by all means, good luck to you. We-
Okay, sorry, I have to step away for a second.
Okay.
She gotta
So
go talk to the ghost real quick.
I'll
That
be right back.
spirit. It's that spirit.
Oh, she literally stepped away. Okay. But so it's me and you, Cuzzy.
Hey, Cuzzy, I'm here.
But I mean, that growth thing, that really I felt like I needed to get on here and really break that down today and get into it. Um I just don't know why we have such a hard time uh allowing ourselves to outgrow people. I don't know. I don't know, cuz like it's weird in that in this generation there's no loyalty the way that it used to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? People switch up on you every day,
Mm-hmm.
but we still have problems in severing those ties. Like that's, kind of contradicting right there.
Because I think the only thing with me is that I think when you come and look at it as a community, as a black community, and you compare it to, no offense, like to the white community or even the Asian community, when they grow all together.
Mhm.
Like when you got a job, if you say for instance me and you working at the same job, we both white or Asians. If I get promoted, oh, the next person I'm promoting is, hey, look, let me go ahead and bring my cousin up right along with me.
Mhm.
But then, they all grow together. A lot of times with black people, we're scared to grow because we don't want nobody. Dang, you copping out. Dang, you trying to change up. Dang, oh, so now you on a different level. Oh, so now you think you better than everybody right now. So
Right.
then it's like you kind of scared to grow, but so far because you don't want everybody that you hanging with to feel some type of way or have some whatever input they have to feel about it. And I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes we just afraid to kind of leap out there and say something or
Mhm.
make a move and not care what the repercussions behind it.
Right.
I
So
can't.
content said, I like it when people complain about my growth or change because that means you ain't ready to grow with me. So that's one less person I have to be nice to.
I know that's right.
And speaking of that being nice to, sometimes we have a problem with outgrowing people that we haven't necessarily had beef with. We haven't had an argument. We haven't had an issue per se, but there's something like your vibe is off. When I tell you, oh, I heard you getting married, or when I tell you, I'm getting married, and you're like, oh, is you sure that's what you want to do? You done did this before, those kind of things versus congratulations. Tell me about it. Are you ready? Things like that. Oh, how's wedding planning going? Can I help? Those kind of things. Like they just make those little small comments and we just always brush them off because we're like, we haven't really gotten into it. We haven't really had any beef. So I don't know why I have to cut that person off. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your space, your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you keep people around you, they're feeding into who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's going into your psyche.
Right. Because I've actually had people say some side stuff, but I think now I got to the point where most of the time I be real quick to slap back and be like, oh, I'm coming to get you now. But now I just be like, okay, cool. You said what you said, but now it's like now you trying to get a reaction out of me. And that
Right.
shows growth right there on my end because I was used to be real quick. Somebody say something smart to me, I'm gonna get you back. But then it's like, sometimes I still have it in me to kind of, snap back at you. But now I'm just like, okay, you know what? You making yourself look stupid because now what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a reaction out of me and I'm not giving you that energy no more. So now you're gonna try to come up with another tactic. And guess what? I'm already in the point where I've already elevated myself. So now you're trying to figure out what tactics you can get to spark my nerve to get me to snap back to having an attitude or going back to, oh, yep, she's still the same old core. I got it now.
Right.
Nah,
Right.
I'm not giving you that energy because now I'm already looking in front of me. And as long as I continue to look in my rearview mirror, I'm never gonna continue to grow.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I concur. And that is another reason why it's important that we cut people off. We can't continue to let people pull us out of our character, even if it means pulling us back to our old self. There was a reason why we grew. You know what I'm saying? Why we let go of those ways, why we stopped doing those things. And for you to keep people around you that continue to remind you of those things, oh, you used to be this, you used to do that. Oh, you don't do that no more. Like, oh, and they think that they can just push your buttons. So just don't take their power away. Cut their access off. And it don't have to be no long drawn out. This is goodbye because you have violated my standards of loyalty.
That would be me. I'm
Right.
always the one that has to give an explanation.
Yes, and
Because
I
I'm
don't.
trying to give you a chance to redeem yourself. But if you don't want to, I can't help you with that.
Right. Because, like, when I cut Stacy off, I in my mind, oh, I said her name,
No.
but
Names?
Yeah.
dropping
Jesus.
names, but
And
nevertheless,
like she watch you anyway.
right, she don't watch. But, when I cut her off, I didn't give her I mean, I just let her know that we were done. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, clearly you have a lot going on in your life. Best of luck to you. This, that, third, no harsh words. I didn't call her out of her name or, nothing like that. Cause I really do wish the best for her, but you just can't have access to my life anymore. And,
Right.
I sent her that text, deleted everything else. And then, I unfriended her on Facebook. And that was just because I didn't block her, because it's not a hate thing, but it's just I don't need you to have access because you couldn't even take the time to keep in contact with me, but you want to tell people that we're sisters, that we've been best friends since 11, since we were 11 years old, and instead of third, and you don't even know who I am now.
Right.
When we talk like, oh, I didn't know this or I didn't know that. I didn't know you were into politics. I've only had a show for a year and a half. You know what I mean? I didn't just up and do that at the when the Democratic race started. This was always here. You know what I mean? If you had time for conversations, you would know.
She said when the Democratic convention started. I can't
Yep.
get it. I get it. I mean, hey, time to move on, little Johnny, move on.
Right. I mean, but nevertheless, that's okay. Don't be afraid to outgrow people and don't feel bad about it. If you know that you are making steps in the right direction. Now, if you are on the other side of a person who may have outgrown you, then that's a different thing.
Take a moment to self evaluate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And be honest, have I been a good friend? Have I been a good person to this person? Have I poured into them the way that they poured into me? And if not, then maybe you can still save that relationship. Otherwise, you have to be fair and just respect that. Godspeed. Hopefully life will bring us back around and we can catch up. But right now, you head in a different direction. I can't be the person you need me to be. Best of luck
Facts.
to
Yep. Peace. Yeah.
Amen.
you. But I'm really glad we had this discussion. Clearly it was on my spirit today. I was
I'm
in
glad you did too.
talking
Thanks y'all
to
for
it.
letting me call in.
Uh,
Put the call in.
now you about to get kicked out. But but no, Courtney, thanks for joining us. And you're always welcome.
Thanks,
Um,
Thanks,
Court Court.
thanks, love. Y'all love them glasses, girl. Ew.
oh
Thank
yeah.
Shut
you.
I
yourself.
wasn't gonna give her too much props. Plus we already seen them glasses before. So
But I
they
like
not new.
those.
They
But I
not
like
new.
those though. Especially with the red turban. That junk pops for real.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Thanks, you, boo. I do it for you.
I know. I can't wait to see next week's. All
Right.
right, guys. I'm
I,
about to hop on so you can go ahead and close out, cuz.
All right, cuz appreciate you.
All right.
But I did have one more thing, but we're out of time. So next week we're gonna talk about the impact of music on today's society.
oh, shoot. That's a whole show. We ain't got time for
Yeah.
that.
So we're gonna talk about it next week.
Oh,
I just
okay.
I just said that.
But you was like, oh, we don't have time. I was like, oh, yeah, that's.
Have I outgrown you? No, I'm just kidding. Look
I
at
don't
me.
know. Have you?
Self evaluation. No.
Heifer, you cut me off. I'm cutting your foot off, okay?
Oh, okay, right.
I
I
ain't going
know.
nowhere.
I know.
I
Plus, I'm
here.
still waiting on my intro. That's why I played it today.
I got you.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
I
All
got
right.
you. The studio is evolving, okay?
It's looking good though, for real. Like, just give me a couple months. Once we get into our own place, then yeah, I'm gonna catch up to you. I'm gonna catch up to you. But I haven't outgrown you. I can celebrate your growth, boo. Okay. So yeah, now that I got my hate out, I am feeling it. I'm gonna zoom out so everybody can see it one more time because it looks fabulous. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So I'm gonna have a real wall behind me instead of just this little drape up here.
To the real
Okay.
wall. There's a wall there.
Yeah. but I mean, I don't have to have the blanket and stuff. But nevertheless, so yeah, we're gonna get up out of here. Like I said, next week join us because we are gonna talk about the impact of music on today's culture, today's society, and the difference between now and back in the day. I wanted to get into it today, but we got into another much needed conversation. So we'll do that next week. But as always, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all your love and your support. Please be sure to share this video with your friends, invite them to subscribe, invite them to be part of the show. And don't forget, the link is shared every episode now. I got that down. I may not always say it, but it's always in the link. I mean, in the comments for you to be a part of the show. You are more than welcome to do so. And as always, Miss Levy, can I still call you Levy, or do we have to call you Miss, or because you you fancy now, you fancy now. What I got to call you for?
Really? That's the route we taking?
Mm-hmm. Madam DJ, Madam Podcast Lady, what are we doing here?
I'm just trying to get on your level, okay?
Oh,
Because if it weren't for you, I would not have this set up.
okay, well,
Okay?
each
Okay?
one
Go
teach
ahead and give me
one.
your flowers, okay?
Okay, and while we giving flowers, let me give my flowers to Miss Cruiser, who did not join us this evening, but she's actually the reason why I started this channel. She encouraged me to do so. We used to have some very serious dialogues. Oh, you should have a podcast. You should have a podcast. You should record this video. I was like, I don't know, I don't like the sound of my voice, but here we are. So we celebrating growth. We're giving flowers while people living. Okay.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
But all right, okay, Goldie says wrap it up. All right, wrap
Right.
it up then. But
At
all
least
right,
you came at the end.
right. He was in there a little earlier. We heard it when you blanked out. When he's like, "Oh, I got to be back." But all right, thanks for this episode, Levy. Thanks as always. You do a great job of keeping me balanced, keep me on task, and everything else. So I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you for having me.
More than welcome. And to you all in the comment section, thank you for showing up. I look forward to seeing you next week as well. As always, it's the Saturday Sit Down, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay safe. See you next week.
Bye.